Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the WCW Worldwide Series for the 23rd of January 1993. We've got about at least 20 more of these 1993 editions. That's the goal, anyway. But we move through, and we probably will have a chance to go back in time a little bit on that. In any event, opens with highlights of the match between Chono and Muta from New Japan. So the formation of the relationship between New Japan and WCW goes back at least to early 1993. Bischoff, I don't think, is in power yet, so he can't really take as much credit for that as he would like to. The Barbarian is out here in his enhancement talent match here. Moving him away from Cactus Jack a little bit, although he's still with Cactus a little bit more through the months to come. Too Cold Scorpio is his opponent here, so trying to move him into a more competitive match. Scorpio launches himself over the top to the outside and tries to get an advantage, leaping off the apron with a singular attack. Hard shots by the Barbarian, going back into the ring, punches, kicks, and takedown of Scorpio. Scorpio not exactly wanting to surrender, but not a big surprise there. Barbarian manages to go after his adversary pretty simply and effectively there. Stays on him and tries to roll him up, does Scorpio. Scorpio tries to get the sunset flip. However, the power difference is too much for the Barbarian. Super kick a few minutes later gets the Barbarian down on the canvas, and Scorpio manages to brawl with his adversary on the outside. Outside in, slingshot splash, gets a 1, 2, and a 3, or almost a 3, for Scorpio to get a victory, but doesn't quite get there yet. They go to the outside and brawling continues. Matches thrown out because of the uncontrollable nature. Actually, Scorpio wins by disqualification because of the uncontrollable nature of the Barbarian, which makes sense at the time. You're trying to push Scorpio as a big time babyface. Highlights from the Thunderdome cage match just a few short weeks ago, plus highlights from Rhodes winning the his version of the U.S. title tournament match via countout is highlighted here. Lots of highlight package stuff from WCW Saturday Night. Makes me wonder if they were going through a change in management or just change in taping schedule, because there's a lot of highlights. Nearly almost 10 minutes of highlights. 6 or 7 anyway. In a position where they normally wouldn't be. Eric Watts is up next in an enhancement talent match. Punch kick, body slam, basic stuff. Eventually gets the SDF after some drop kicks that are less than stellar looking. Watts can do lots of things. Dropkick isn't one. He does hit a nice flying clothesline, however, and hooks in the STF. Basically says that Arn Anderson got himself in trouble, and that is what caused the issues for Anderson in previous weeks. Then we move to Vinny Vegas promising that, in fact, he's going to eliminate everybody, including Van Hammer, from things. Van Hammer and Vinny Vegas seems to be a pretty big thing as part of the WCW Magazine review series at the time. Of course, Vegas gone by about 4 months later. Jesse Ventura basically says that things are going to go the way of Vinny Vegas. Brad Armstrong coming out here in early 1993, getting after it pretty aggressively with Barry Windham. Armstrong and Windham are battling with each other just a couple of weeks before Windham tries for the and wins the WCW or the NWA championship at the time. Good head scissors takeover, basic stuff from Armstrong. Armstrong gets caught up in the Back suplex by Barry Windham. Basic stuff, nothing to write home about by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, worthwhile match to be had by all. Hard shots by Windham, and he pretty well goes right at Armstrong in the corner. Leaping DDT is a victory, and again we go to the interview with Paul Orndorff, who promises to get rid of Sting. Hype for Super Brawl 3 with Jim Ross in the control center. Hyping the Great Muta coming back as the NWA champion, going at it with Barry Windham. More highlights from Smoky Mountain Wrestling and the involvement of the Rock and Roll Express and Heavenly Bodies upcoming, and obviously that's a pretty big deal. Then we go to the Dragon and Shane Douglas, tag team champions, going after Shanghai Pierce and Tex Slashinger. Pierce and Slashinger obviously overpowering Douglas, who has fuzzy tassels on his boots at this point in his journey. Cut off the ring on Douglas for quite a while here, and the heels are in control. Several body slams and other basic moves. Finally a hot tag to Steamboat, but he doesn't fare much better during the ensuing following several minutes. Kicks by Shanghai and Tex, and away we go there. Then we see cut off Steamboat having difficulty knowing where he is in the ring. Douglas wants to get the victory and eventually does. Promises that the Hollywood Blondes are not going to be the unified champions. Belly-to-belly suplex by Douglas is what gave them the win. We go back to WCW Magazine, and most popular wrestler of the year is Sting. So heavy acknowledgement of that. Hollywood Blondes close the show, although I don't think they're called the Blondes yet. Close the show promising that, in fact, all they need is one more match with Douglas and Steamboat, and they can get a World Tag Team title victory. We'll be back with more right after this.